PGA Director of Instruction here at Talamore. He's going to join us for the show. He's going to give Katie some tips and you guys.
Should she work with the driver today? Those are some of the things we're going to ask Katie for the wedge. Now remember, I like students to pick a club. Pitching wedge, 9, 8, or 7 iron.
Guys that are successful early get all these endorsements, and then where do they go?
But he was good for a long time, Mike. Just trying to keep the stroke smooth, keep the head steady.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf with Katie Widman. I'm Colleen Wolfe. We're here at Talamore Country Club today. Katie and I have known each other for, I don't know, over 20 years. It seems like you've been playing golf for about that time, but seriously, when did you start?
I started when I was 15.
And how did you get into it?
You know, I had a summer off and my dad brought me up here to Talamore, introduced me to the pro, and that was it. I fell in love with the game.
Now, Katie is a student at Penn. She also has an internship. Where in the world do you find time?
You know, Colleen, it's tough. I'm getting my MSW at Penn, and it's a full-time program, so it can be difficult. But usually I try to get up here for a half hour to an hour after school or my internship and hit the range or go to the putting green for a while.
For as long as I've known you, you've had such a passion for the game. Talk about how it's inspired you in your life.
I have. I really love it. You know, it gives me the opportunity to get away from everything that's going on at work, at school. You know, it's even opened a few doors for me career-wise.
Well, today, Guzzi, he's the PGA Director of Instruction here at Talamore. He's going to join us for the show. He's going to give Katie some tips and you guys on getting ready for the season. We'll be back with more on Inside Golf.
What we're trying to do today, Katie hasn't really putted much over the winter.
Inside Golf is brought to you by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, and by Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where America goes to play. Visit online at phillytomyrtle.com. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, celebrating 90 years.
The Philadelphia Section of the PGA of America is celebrating 90 years. Since 1921, the professionals of the Philadelphia Section have proven themselves to be the players, teachers, managers, and stewards of the game of golf in the Philadelphia area. They are the experts in the game and business of golf. Please join us in celebrating our 90-year commitment to the game of golf.
It's time light beer got some character. 99 calories, 100% authentic lager. Yuengling Light Lager, from America's oldest brewery. Rethink your light beer.
Welcome back to Inside Golf with PGA Director of Instruction, Guzzi, here at Talamore Country Club. Lou, how long have you been here at Talamore?
Hi, Colleen. I've been here 4 years now. This will be my 4th year full-time, and we've got this beautiful building behind us, and we've got a wonderful student here in Katie working on her golf swing.
All right, what are you and Katie going to work on today?
We're going to talk about wedge shots, warming up, how does she feel, should she work with the driver today? Those are some of the things we're going to ask Katie, see how she feels, why she's practicing, and see what she needs to do maybe in an hour or two for a good practice session.
And how long have you and Katie known each other?
It's been a long time. Katie goes way back, working at an indoor facility that we had, and she's developed a beautiful golf swing, and we're going to see it today.
Great. Let's get started.
That's a beautiful shot there, Katie. How's the swing feel?
It's not bad. I'm a little bit tired today.
Right. We talked about that. We talked about many a times what to do on the range when you're not feeling up to it. So we still want to get our practice session in, correct?
Yes.
Right. So you had a tough day at work?
My internship.
Tired?
I'm in grad school now, yeah.
Right. You think it's a good day to work on the driver?
I think we should focus more on the wedge.
Right. How are you hitting the wedge so far?
Not bad. A little fat, but
good. And one of the things that we've discussed in the past is you work on the wedge. Sometimes if you're feeling sharp mentally, then you work towards a specific target. But if you're not feeling that sharp and you still want to work on your wedge game, just hit to a section of the range. That's all. You don't necessarily have to go at a target. Drop them into the left-hand side of the range. If you want to move around a little bit, go ahead and send them to the right-hand side of the range. Work on your wedge swing. But if you're tired, don't really go anything higher, do anything higher. You know, stick with the wedge.
okay.
So right there, that's your full wedge swing?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things you can work on also is shorter shots, obviously inside 100 yards.
Okay.
So if you want to stick with the same wedge, maybe make a smaller backswing and then go to a full finish.
Now, should I choke down for a smaller swing or no?
That's personal preference. If you do choke down, you're going to lose some swing speed. Not that that's a bad thing if you want to hit the ball shorter.
Try it out.
So a lot of times what you can do is make smaller swings. Obviously, you know, with our 3-level swing system, you can make a swing hip high, chest high, shoulder high with your hands. Commit to a full finish all the way through, and then just see how you feel. If you're feeling strong, there's no doubt about it, you want to work with longer clubs, your hybrids, your fairway woods, get up there to your driver. If you're feeling strong mentally and physically, you want to work with all your clubs. Maybe at that time, though, spend more time with your longer clubs, because it's like, you know what, I feel good today.
Right.
Because there's going to be a lot of days, I think, where people get on the range and they forget they've worked all day. They're tired. And they don't evaluate how they feel before they start to practice.
Good
So then they
point.
go out, they're hitting driver. Everybody wants to hit the driver. And right away, they're breaking down and they don't know why. They're just not physically ready to hit driver. Beautiful. Another thing you can do with your wedges, remember, the visual for hitting a golf shot, at least in the world of teaching, is try to hit between the goalposts. So give yourself some room left and right of the flag. If you're 50 yards out, just 50 yards, and you give yourself 10 yards right and 10 yards left, that's 20 yards that you've got the room to hit a wedge in between the posts. That's easy to do. Well, if you're inside those posts on either side, you're inside 30 feet for a birdie putt. Now, the tour players' posts are going to be narrow. They're probably going to be at maybe 5 yards from 50, but we're not tour players.
Exactly.
I was down at the Masters last week, and they hit balls all day long. They're conditioned to do that. We're conditioned to work first, play second. Well, you're swinging the club well. You look pretty strong. You want to try a longer club?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Because it looks pretty good. Why don't you go to 7-iron? Drop down a few. Try to apply the same feel for the 7-iron that you just applied for the wedge. Now remember, I like students to pick a club, pitching wedge, 9, 8, or 7-iron, to be their to-go club, so that no matter what full swing they make, with what club they select, let's say in my case it's a 9-iron, I want everything to feel as smooth as a 9-iron swing. So in your world, you've got to pick a club between those 4 and then just make every club feel like that.
Try it out.
That wedge swing looked pretty good. Nice compression, awesome shot.
Thank you.
Very good. Remember, 7-iron feels like maybe a wedge or a 9-iron to you. That's going to take a lot of pressure off, and the beauty of this is we've got the post to hit through. The further we are away from the target, the easier it really is, because we have more room to miss it. When we get closer, we have to be more exact with our golf shots.
Well, then I feel more pressure mentally.
You feel more pressure mentally when you're using the longer clubs?
No, and I have a target that's smaller.
Right.
So if I keep the post 50,
Yeah.
you say 50 out, 10 on each side, and
Yeah, it depends on how you're playing. And the more solid you're swinging the club, the tighter you want to make the post. It's like going from college to pro football, right?
right.
But for now, make it 10. You'd be amazed. 10 yards right, 10 yards left from 50 is a lot. But when you hit in between them, you're going to start firing the ball right at the flag, because you're not trying. You're relaxed. It's not as hard. Sometimes that defined target freezes us up from swinging the club.
I've been there.
Super. Now, both those 7-iron swings had the same tempo, the same pace as your wedge swing. Didn't look like you tried to create any more swing speed. The swing speed is built in because the shaft's longer and there's less loft on the club. It's automatic. Nice and smooth. Gorgeous. There's 3 in a row. Then you want to try to take that same tempo, that same feel, apply it to your long clubs, your hybrids, and also your big dog.
Even the driver.
You got it. 100%. Good job today.
Thanks, Lou.
Let's go to the putting green.
All right.
All right, Katie, put that back. Give me a couple of swings with that driver. You got enough energy for maybe 2 or 3?
I can do 2 or 3.
All right, let's do it. Now remember, the driver in a lot of ways is actually one of the easiest clubs to hit because we really don't get penalized that much for hitting it, let's say 220, 230, 240, unless you have a hole where you would have to lay up. So we have a lot of room here. Our field goal is much wider with the driver than it is with all the other clubs, and just make that 7, 8, 9 iron swing. You gotta love that, awesome. Good balanced swing, right down the middle. Remember, there's plenty of room out there. We've got 30, 40 yards of target to play with. Keep that rhythm going, just like the 7 iron swing, just like the wedge swing, right down the middle again. Beautiful tempo. Didn't look like you were trying to hit the ball hard. Your transition from the top of the swing down was smooth. It was beautiful. Effortless swing. Golf ball just got in the way, didn't it?
Just a little bit.
All right, guys, it's early in the season. Lou, what are some of the things that you just went over with Katie?
Well, she started out with a pitching wedge, came in from a long day at work, wasn't feeling really strong. Wasn't a good idea to hit the driver. So we worked with wedge. Didn't even hit to a specific target, did we?
Nope.
Just worked left and right of the range. Swing started to look really good. Went to a 7 iron. 7 iron looked good. Then what did we do, Katie?
Pulled out the big dog.
Absolutely. 2 or 3 good swings with the big dog. She's feeling good. Going to go to bed tonight feeling good about her golf swing.
All right, well, coming up next, we're heading to the putting green.
Experience what golfers voted #1 for quality, selection, and affordability. Over 100 different championship courses, including 7 of America's 100 greatest. Indulge in gourmet cuisine, pristine beaches that offer endless activities, active nightlife, and more. It's an easy drive, and affordable nonstop flights are now available from over 25 cities. Start planning your Myrtle Beach golf vacation today and request a free quick quote for the best package rates. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's where America goes to play.
Welcome back to Inside Golf here at Talamore Country Club. Well, we've made our way over to the practice green where Lou is going to work with Katie on regaining her putting stroke.
Great looking putt there, Katie. All right, folks, here's what we're doing. We're setting Katie up with a 3-foot circle, and I've put down some range balls, which are obviously very visible, so that she can putt parallel to the range balls and see the line. And what we're trying to do today, Katie hasn't really putted much over the winter, is we're trying to get a feel for speed. We've got the visual of the 3-foot circle. We're creating a very good visual of the break of the putt, and it makes it real easy to see things. We're not really concerned about right now making putts. We're just trying to keep the stroke smooth, keep the head steady, and keep the eyes down, which Katie's doing an outstanding job. Beautiful roll there. So our mission is to get inside the circle, work on the stroke, play around with some break. This is a downhill left to right putt. Let's talk a little bit about the stroke that you're putting on it, Katie. Pretty much an arm and shoulder stroke?
Yes.
Good. Where do you have your eyes in relationship to your setup?
Top of the ball.
Okay, so you got your eyes right over the ball. That's where you see the line. Beautiful. Now, I've got a thought here for you. You're doing a great job with speed control. But I want to talk a little bit about speed control and some of the things that amateurs out there have trouble with when they're putting. I want you to think about baseball, throwing a ball. If I'm here throwing a baseball to you, I can see where you're at because I'm going to be looking at the glove. If I'm shooting a basketball, I'm looking at the hoop. Well, golf, putting, not quite the same thing. We look at the putt, we try to evaluate the speed and the break, and then when we get over the ball, right before we take the putter back, what are we doing? We're looking down at the ground. We no longer have the visual of the stroke of the target itself. So what we have to do is we've got to create this video in our mind and run the video so that when we go to putt, the putter's going to respond and go back and through the distance that it needs to go based on what we remember about this putt. So whether it's the right guess or the wrong guess, we've got to do something. And most people, when they go to putt, forget all about the visual, they forget all about the video, they don't run a video, and then they have inconsistencies with speed. One of the biggest things we can do as golfers is control our speed around the greens. The tour players from 6 feet miss 49% of the time, from 6 feet. So it's important that we get inside that zone, and what they're great at, for the most part, is speed control. Let's try some more putts. I'm going to throw them back up to you. Just think about that speed control. You can see we have an opening in the circle to show Katie where the break is and where the entrance to the cup is supposed to be. So we've got a really, really good visual right now to get back into the season working on our putting stroke. You can see Katie's got a beautiful setup, and her tempo back and through the putter is outstanding. You sure you haven't been putting all winter?
I promise. I've only been up here once with my dad.
And here's the key. One of the things that we can do in the wintertime is we can play games inside the house and roll the putt down a hallway, try to get it through a room. So you roll it down the hallway, you try to keep it within the opening of a door, you go to another room, and you can create your own little golf course right inside the house. As long as you have a rug that rolls like a green, it's the same thing. And you know, in the end, all you have to do is put 20 minutes a day into your putting 5 days a week, and you'll never lose your stroke over the winter.
It's a great drill.
Isn't that terrific? A little short there. Good roll though, still good speed. Now what we're going to do next, I want you to roll these two balls, and then we're going to get set up to think about how to warm up before we actually go out to play a round of golf on the course. All right, Katie, here's what we're going to do. I want to talk to you a little bit about warming up before a round of golf with putting. So usually when people get right on the green, they drop 3 balls down, and what do? 3, 4, 5 feet away from the hole, they start to putt. They miss their putts, they're negative right off the bat. What we're going to do is we're going to hit 3 putts, and I want you to just roll the ball towards the apron and get a feel for your stroke, get a feel for the green. And go ahead and just roll them towards the end of the apron, no target, just a general area of the green. Watch the ball roll, feel your stroke, and just get that feel for the green. So there's no pressure, we're just warming up the stroke. This usually takes about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you're ready to go. And that's all you need to get ready to play a round of golf. So right off the bat, there's no negative energy, there's no defined target, it's just an area on the green. Beautiful. So what I would do is I'd probably roll 3, 6, maybe 9 balls to the apron, and then from there I'd start to roll some balls to the cup, 15 to 20 footers. I'm not going to finish the putt out. So even if I roll it to a foot, I'm not ready to hit the short putts yet. Then after we roll some putts around the green, get a feel for rolling it to the hole, then we're going to finish up with a 2-foot putt. Hit 3 or 4 2-foot putts, 6 2-foot putts, back up, maybe hit a 3-foot putt, and then you're ready to go. The great Jack Nicklaus, right before he got ready for a round of golf at the end, would stand there from 2 feet and hit 2-foot putts in the hole. 3, 6, 9 putts, and then he'd walk off. Steve Elkington said that was crazy watching the greatest player in the world hit 2-foot putts into the hole. But what he wanted to do is he wanted to leave the green with a great mental thought of making putts, and that's all he left the green with. It was always positive. Good stroke, nice and steady with that head, no movement. Remember, we're listening for that ball to go in the cup. We're just about ready to take it to the first tee. Beautiful job. We've got a good feel for the green. Your stroke is smooth. We finish with some short 2-foot putts. You're ready to go play.
Can't wait.
Great job today.
Thanks, Lou.
Well, we hope this gives you some ideas on how to get your golf game back in shape for the season. When we return, Harry and the panel for Teed Off.
If 5 friends are having a light beer and they all put their drinks down in the same place, how long will it take to find the Yuengling Light Lager? About that long, because the rich amber color of Yuengling Light Lager makes it stand out from the rest. The true lager flavor, however, makes it disappear. 99 calories, 100% authentic lager. Yuengling Light Lager, from America's oldest brewery. Rethink your light beer.
Guests of Inside Golf enjoy dining at Sin Sin, the popular Asian fusion restaurant located on Germantown Avenue in the heart of scenic Chestnut Hill.
And now it's time for Teed Off, brought to you by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery.
And almost won like 4 or 5 majors. And
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues our Teed Off segment today, again at McGurk's in Fort Washington. And our panel includes Mike Missinelli from 97.5 The Fanatic, from the Philadelphia Daily News, Mike Kern, Joe Giuliano of the Philadelphia Inquirer, and Jack Connelly, long time, 38 years the head professional at Huntington Valley Country Club. Sergio Garcia, Mike Missinelli, in 2009 was ranked number 2 in the world. In 2011, as we speak, he's somewhere down there around you and I think. He is like number 85 in the. What's happened to the guy?
Did he date Natalie Golbis too?
Well, he did break up with his girlfriend, but he was a moper before that happened. See, when you're down on he gets so down on his game. And now I'm sure that this breakup didn't help him. He's got mental situations going on right now.
Yeah, but
really
everybody breaks up with their girlfriend, Mike. I mean, how is that?
Why did you look at me when you said that?
It's not like your cell phone going off on Thanksgiving night and, you know, it's a call from...
He's a moody Spaniard. You know, it's a different thing. The Spaniard is the moody guy. You know, they're
the opinions of Mike
Missinelli. Yeah, they're more emotionally stirred up.
I think it was a combination of things. He had not won a major. He was on his road to being Colin Montgomery and still may be. And then there was the 207 British where, you know, he blamed God for the ball not going in and, you know, instead of Patty Harrington just beating him. And I think at some point it just kind of, you know, got, and then when you go, he's never been a putter. Even when he was good, he couldn't putt, except in Ryder Cups. And then I think, as we've seen with other, I mean, Tiger's going through slumps where he's been like 2 years I think he's going through something now. Is he young enough? What's he, 31? 31. You know, I would hate to say he'll never be back on the golf scene, especially in Ryder Cups and things like that. But, you know, you start to wonder about him. Like, you know, like Mike said, he's a moody Spaniard.
He is moody. And his endorsements, you know, he had all these endorsements. Guys that are successful early get all these endorsements, and then where do they go?
But he was good for a long time, Mike. He was good for 10 years. I mean, he was there in 99 PGA. So he was around for a decade and almost won like 4 or 5 majors and won Ryder Cups. Yeah. So it wasn't like he was a flash in the pan. He was good for a long time.
You talk about the Ryder Cup, Jack, of course, as the former head of president of the National PGA, intimately involved in Ryder Cup play. You were on the scenes and saw him in competition, especially when he teamed up with Ali. Olazabal, yeah. and like Olazabal and Seve, he and Ali were almost unbeatable, right?
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were incredible, and they fed off of each other. And it's like Mike said, you know, the putting. I mean, I watched Sergio this weekend, and he's putting claw, and he missed one 18 inches.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that
but give him a 30-footer to win a match against somebody.
That gets
an American.
That gets in your head. Yeah. That gets in your head. I mean, no matter how good you hit it, you're not going to hit it 18 inches all day, and if you miss some of them, you're really in deep trouble.
Now, when you go to claw, you're done.
Yeah, right.
As soon as you do the claw,
I don't know. That helped me last year.
Oh, there you go.
That's the subject of another teed off.
Well, can you teach me to claw, Jack?
Sure. On video. Wow. Joe, a modern day, we just said he's not that old, but a new version of Sergio. How about Ricky Fowler? Is Ricky Fowler headed down that same path? Maybe not toward destruction, but at least as being a phenom at an early age.
Well, it's a guy coming in as a very charismatic figure. I mean, what he did in the Walker Cup at Marion that year was phenomenal. Came out as a rookie last year. In fact, even after the Walker Cup, he played a couple tournaments as a pro after turning pro. You know, challenged, lost in a playoff
How about
one
the
time.
putt he made at the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I mean, it's just tremendous. I mean, the guy's got a lot of charisma, he's got a lot of game, and he could be like our next U.S. superstar. He hasn't won yet, but this is only his second full year on the tour.
And he has the endorsements going, right?
He goes overboard with the endorsements. That's the thing.
But he's not a mopey Spanish guy.
No, he's a happy little go-lucky guy. But do we really need the orange on Sunday?
Oklahoma State,
now the orange on Sunday is
Cowboys.
Mike, if they were paying you what they paid Ricky, you'd be wearing orange all day.
I know. Watching
you can mix it up. You don't have to go all orange.
Well, he's an Oklahoma State guy. That's why.
He looks like a clown.
I know he looks like a clown.
Look like a clown.
He'll be winning the Masters.
Think
about the year he wins the Masters.
In this game, I put on a clown
Phil Mickelson
costume.
who can't dress worth a lick, and then you got this kid. Get somewhere in the middle. That's all I'm saying.
How about when he turns the hat around, Jack? And you see the RickyFowler.com. Now, if he was at Marion, they would ask him, please, to adjust his cap, wouldn't they?
Well,
if he was still in the Walker
certainly
Cup?
not Marion, it would be Huntington Valley. I can tell you that. But to his,
it's a new breed, though.
Yeah, but to his credit, that Puma hat is so big that I don't think you could have seen his face, so you had to turn it around. And RickyFowler.com isn't a bad website to go on, I'm sure.
And if Ricky
wins, I'd tell Ricky and Jack.
If Ricky wins a major, how many people will be wearing orange like the next day?
I want to see him. I want to see him walking down the fairway at the U.S. Open or something. And how about the British Open dressed in orange, huh?
What about Bernhard that one year, 85 at Augusta with the red? I mean,
That was pretty gross.
Poulter doesn't dress that much different either, so it's just not all the same color.
Cleaned it up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are not going to clean it up. We'll keep it down and dirty when Inside Golf continues in just a moment.
Teed Off has been taped on location at McGurk's on Bethlehem Pike in Fort Washington, PA. Come to McGurk's to check out our new menu, weekly specials, and live entertainment on Fridays and Saturdays. For more information, go to mcgurkspub.com.
The Philadelphia section of the PGA of America is celebrating 90 years. Since 1921, the professionals of the Philadelphia section have proven themselves to be the players, teachers, managers, and stewards of the game of golf in the Philadelphia area. They are the experts in the game and business of golf. Please join us in celebrating our 90-year commitment to the game of golf.
Colleen Wolfe's wardrobe is provided by Adidas, the leader in men's and women's apparel for the athletic golfer.
Hi, I'm Tom Carpus, head golf professional at Kennett Square Golf and Country Club and member of the PGA Rules Committee, and welcome to the rules of the game. I've just hit a golf ball from the fairway, and my ball is now in the bunker plugged under the lip. And the question is, what options do I have? Well, Rule 28, which is unplayable ball, I have 3 options, and a ball can be declared unplayable anywhere on the golf course except in a water hazard. So what I can do if I don't want to play this ball, I have 3 options, all under penalty of 1 stroke. My first option is I can go back to where I played the previous stroke, which would be from the fairway. I could go back there. My second option is I can keep a line between where my ball lies, between me and the flagstick, go back on a straight line. The only thing with this option is I must drop the ball in the bunker under this option because my ball's in a bunker to begin with. And my third option is I can drop it within 2 club lengths of where my ball lie, and once again I must drop it in the bunker. All of these options are under a penalty of 1 stroke. Of course, I certainly can go ahead and try to play it if I want to, but again, Rule 28 allows me to declare it unplayable with a 1-stroke penalty and proceed under one of those 3 options. And remember, golf rules.
Well, we want to thank Talamore Country Club, Lou Guzzi, and Katie Widman. Katie, how do you feel now after that session with Lou?
I feel great. Thanks, Lou.
She did a great job.
And Lou Guzzi, Golf Magazine Top 100 teacher and 2-time Teacher of the Year. We're going to have all his information on our website, InsideGolf.net, if you want a lesson with Lou. And remember, in the words of Harry Donahue, no matter how bad it's going for you,
don't pick up.
We'll see you next time here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf has been brought to you by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, and by Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now fly nonstop on Spirit Airlines. Details at phillytomyrtle.com. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, celebrating 90 years.